Hi guys, welcome back to the channel of the Bucket Lord. I am Adam, one of the collaborators on this channel. I am here to talk to you guys about the most recent release from Marvel Studios. That's going to be the Fantastic Four teaser trailer that we got earlier this week. I'm a very big fan of the Fantastic Four, mostly Reed. I'm almost as big a fan of Reed Richards as I am of Superman. Not quite, but pretty damn close. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about the Fantastic Four. I have a lot of good things to say about it. I think that this is going to be a very good movie. So one of the biggest things that I noticed was the very 60s aesthetic. I know the movie is supposed to take place in the 60s. It definitely captures that 60s era of clothing, things like that. Even the costumes, the costume design even screams very 60s, very comfy, very cozy. You know, the whole nuclear family idea, which is where kind of the Fantastic Four lands because of the fact that they are the first family of the Marvel Universe. Iterations of the Fantastic Four started, they were the first family of the Marvel Universe. I like the fact that a lot of times in the trailer they mention the idea of family. The idea of family is very central to how the Fantastic Four is, how they operate, always together. They don't really operate outside of the Fantastic Four except for Johnny, who's kind of, everywhere all over the place. He'll show up in some Spider-Man comics. Johnny does all kinds of things, but for the most part, the Fantastic Four operates all together. I like the fact of going along with that older school design. The design of Herbie, I thought, was very reminiscent of what technology from that time would allow them to do with Herbie, what Reed would be able to come up with in terms of creating Herbie. Along that same vein of technology and technological advancements, and with regards to Reed himself, the design of the Baxter Building being very futuristic, being very that whole nuclear family idea of, you learn in history class about the way that they advertised for the future and things like that. And, you had that whole Jetsons idea. The way that the Baxter Building is designed, a lot of things reminiscent of the design of the home that the Jetsons lived in. So it screams it's very, very 60s. Another design thing that I wanted to bring up, I know it's been a hot topic on the internet recently, the design of Ben Grimm. I like how close it is to the comics. I feel like it's very, very comic accurate. A lot of people don't like, they keep complaining about the eyebrows. The way that Ben is designed is very, very close to the way that he was drawn in the comics, and I like that. Another thing with regards to Ben is the use of, rather than making Ben CGI, the fact that they used practical effects along with CGI in order to create the idea of the Thing. I really like that Marvel was able to take both of those things, use them effectively, and create an accurate picture of what Ben Grimm would look like if you brought him to life. Another thing that I really liked was the fact that Galactus it's a very small moment you get to see Galactus, but he's huge. He's got the big helmet, very comic accurate. The last time that we saw a character like Galactus, we didn't even see Galactus. So the fact that Marvel is actually willing to tackle this villain and bring him to the screen for us, especially as a first movie appearance for the Fantastic Four, to have Galactus as part of that is, it's very cool. It brings a lot of hope to me for this movie. I also liked the interactions in the trailer between Sue and other members of the family. It kind of shows exactly what a lot of people think, with Sue being the heart of the Fantastic Four. Without Sue, the entire place would just fall apart. And you see that with the scene kind of towards the middle of the trailer where Sue and Reed are talking about, Reed's feeling really bad about the mission that they took to space. He's feeling really down. And she's like, well, Ben was always a rock. It's just now he's, a rock on the outside and the inside. And Johnny's just Johnny. And, even though I can turn invisible now, I'm still here. And we're going to tackle anything that hits us as a family. The very inspirational moment that Sue gets just in the trailer just goes to speak towards the way that they're going to interpret Sue's character, and also speaks towards her relationship with Reed. And I think that that's going to be a very strong thing in this film, is the relationship between Sue Sue and Reed. We get to see Johnny flame on twice, which is pretty cool, in two different moments. We get to see a little bit of action from the Thing. Not a lot, but, you know, just a smidge. You know, it's a teaser trailer. They're going to tease us just a little bit. A couple of things that I found a little bit less than with the trailer. You know, I enjoyed the entirety of the trailer, but just a couple of things, a couple of call outs that I see with the trailer was they mostly focused on us seeing Ben, and they focused a lot on us seeing Sue, and they didn't really do a whole lot for the entirety of the four. It was this trailer was mostly a Ben and Sue, so hopefully when we get another trailer, we get a little bit more of Johnny, and we get a little bit more of the way that Reed will be in the film, so that we can kind of get an idea of how those characters will be portrayed. I have a lot of faith in all four of the actors that they chose. I think Pedro's going to knock it out of the park with Reed. I didn't at first, but just kind of seeing the way that he is in this trailer, the couple of spurt moments that you see him, my faith has kind of been restored a little bit. Still going to hold out a lot of my judgment until I actually see the film, but they're moving in the right direction. I also like the fact that they teased moments from the accident. You get to see some of the scenes with what happens on the spacecraft and things like that. You get to see the before and after. You get to see Ben before and you get to see Ben after, which is kind of cool. The jokey moments between Reed and Ben because of the fact that they are best friends. You get to see that, which is pretty cool. Another thing that I wanted to mention was the tease of John Malkovich's character. I'm not entirely sure who he's going to be. I've seen a lot of things online that say, oh, you know, maybe he's a future Doom or he's a future this, or, you know, he's the theory that I kind of subscribe to, especially because of the fact that they've already said that somewhere in the future of the MCU, we will get a Council of Reeds. I think that this is the precursor to us getting that Council of Reeds. I think that this is a future Reed that comes from a timeline where Reed fails to stop Galactus from whatever Galactus is there to do, in my opinion. Not trying to spoil anything. I don't think that anything has come out that leads to that being the actual case. That's the direction that I think that they could possibly go with that. And I think that that would be really cool in the same vein of, you know, how Star Trek did that with Spock, where Kirk meets future Spock and future Spock gives him information. But yeah, all in all, I am so excited for this movie. This is probably one of the first Marvel movies that I'm excited about in a while. Me personally, I'm really excited to see this movie. I hope that the viewers are too. It was great getting to talk to you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.